Mouth-watering hello to our cooking show. Since 70% of all the fresh water is used in agriculture, we just thought that we had to come up with some do-it-yourself focusing on food. We are going to bake a snowy mountain or volcano today with potentially tiny blue craters on top, and this dish is called Borglove. Borglove, right, which is also a great memory hook for the 4 values that stand behind the dish, and these values are going to be explained in the middle of our cooking session. It is also a traditional Animagical dessert from the realm of emotions. We will use simple ingredients following the 4 mentioned values. They can obviously be replaced with other ingredients depending on what's available in your area and where you come from. We will cook bowl-less and as cutlery-less as possible. So, because it's just more fun and you get the feeling that you actually create something yourself with your hands. And you also have to clean less dishes afterwards. The recipe is for 2 people and it will take 30 minutes of absolute working time. So let's finally get started. For the first part, you will need the following ingredients. 100 grams of instant oat flakes, not rolled oat groats. 1 tablespoon of beep sugar. 7 to 8 tablespoons of any kind of liquid. I chose black currant juice as it is very berry and local too. 2 tablespoons of any kind of filling you want to put into the mountain. You're now going to mix up all of the dry parts first, and then you create sort of a crater where you can put in your liquids. You knead it until you have a smooth ball which sticks together and does not fall apart. And shape it into the mountain you want to have, more or less. You can then cut off the peak and carve out the inner part of the mountain. Put it on the surface you want to put into the oven, possibly with a bit of baking oil. Now your filling can be poured into the hole. After that, you can knead the rest into the peak and close the mountain again. And if you want to make a tiny crater on top for your blue mountain lake, go ahead. And now Professor Rhino and Kaulimu will explain you the values behind our meal.
Bulk means no packaging, so you buy stuff which is not packaged. That you can find in supermarkets and also specific bulk stores where you can choose the amount of food yourself. They're also often called zero waste stores. Less packaging equals less resources equals less water, which then can be used otherwise.
Bulk also often refers to no plastic packaging as it is not biodegradable. Plastic pollution, especially in water, is a global problem. It is estimated that in 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish in terms of its weight if we keep on going like this. 8 million tons of plastic enter the ocean every year. Western countries also ship their plastic to poorer countries in Asia, which makes them solving the plastic problem. As poorer countries often do not have a proper recycling system, tons of plastic ends up in the environment.
Go organic. Organic farming uses natural pesticides. For instance, rapeseed oil, sulfate, or plant extracts, which are easily biodegradable and leaves the soil fertile and healthy. While conventional farming uses synthetic pesticides, such as glyphosate for instance, which not only contributes to infertile soil, but also a steep loss of insect and wild bird abundance. The pesticides also end up in waters and the groundwater. They cannot be filtered very well in the wastewater treatment plants, and therefore often end up in our tap water as well.
The longer the way, the more middlemen and the more water is used. Obviously. For shipping food, we need cars, planes, ferries. So local also means less fossil fuels, for instance, which boost the climate change, contributing to weather extremes such as water scarcity and floods. Coal plants, as an example, use 7% of all fresh water used on Earth. Renewable energy, on the other hand, could save more than 95% of the water used in conventional power generation, which involves coal, oil, natural gas, and nuclear energy.
1/3 of the total freshwater goes into animal agriculture. Sad to see what happens to my species on planet Earth. Deforestation is often done in order to grow food for animals. This once again reinforces climate change going hand in hand with water problems such as droughts or floods. Cutting meat and dairy products could reduce an individual's carbon footprint from food by 2/3. Also, more than half of the food emission comes from animal products, an incredible 58%. Going completely vegan would also save 600 gallons or 20,300 liters of water per day.
If you want more detailed information about these 4 aspects and water appreciation in general, as there is so much more to mention here, check our description box for the keyword water appreciation.
For the second part, you will have to use 2 tablespoons of water or any kind of liquid. Again, 1 tablespoon of baking oil, 50 grams of whole wheat or spelt flour, 1 tablespoon of beet sugar, and 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour in a sieve for the snow and the mountain lake at the end. You will follow the same process as in the first part, mixing up the dry ingredients first and then create tiny craters where you first pour in the oil, knead it a bit, and then you can add the water. Knead it once again until you have a smooth ball, which can then roll out with any round-shaped tool. I chose an old flaxseed oil bottle. Put 1/3 of your all-purpose flour onto the board and start rolling until you have a circular shape, which is about the size of your hands. You can then put it over your mountain and start structuring it how you want it. You can use your hands or any kind of tool you want to use, depending on the structure you want to have. Be creative. Then it is ready for the oven, which does not need to be preheated. Leave it in there at 180 degrees Celsius with top and bottom heating, for 40 to 45 minutes. Meanwhile, you can dedicate your time to the blue water for your crater lakes. You can make it easy and simply stir a bit of blue spirulina powder with water, but mostly this is not local, the same in my case, so I chose to make it as local as possible and took some red cabbage juice from a jar of red cabbage. I took 1 tablespoon. I slowly put teeny tiny bits of baking soda into it. Bit by bit, stirred it until it reached that lovely clear blue tone, which you can then mix up with another 1/3 of your all-purpose flour and a bit of sugar when you do not like the sour taste of the cabbage juice. Pour it into the craters of your mountain and then decorate your mountain with the rest of the all-purpose flour. Cool it down in the fridge for about an hour if wished, or enjoy it warm. And there you got your Borglove, which you can now enjoy with a nice local tea or water or anything you want. Or drink a glass of water in a wine glass. Makes it more gallant and noble. Why put alcohol in it anyway? Cheers. Or you can explore your piece of art a bit. Have you found the golden applesauce yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. I think this is a cake-quake. Enjoy your time. I hope you enjoy our show too, and see you next time. Bye. Ah!